Tonight's guest is a homegrown hero who was part of a band named LIPSTIK that was managed by Whitney Houston. He's a singer, songwriter, guitarist, and an actor. He's a man with a story to tell, and you can find out all about him by staying tuned right here and not going anywhere, because we'll be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rob's Inner Circle. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We have not a great show, a fantastic show for you guys tonight. I want to give my usual shout out to my good friend and producer, Rob's Inner Circle, Miss Jenny Duhane. Jenny's doing such a fantastic job that we're booked up until the month of March, believe it or not. So if you guys want to come on the show, you artists want to come on the show, you better do it now. Get in contact with Jenny before you know it. You're going to have to wait a year to come on to our show, you know. Guys, I also wanted to mention that there's a special phenomenon going on up in the sky tonight. You don't want to watch us now. You want to watch us after the show at 9 o'clock, right? So what's going on right now is that Jupiter and Saturn are aligned. This happens every so often after, I don't know how many years exactly, but that phenomenon is going on right now. And it's actually observable. Okay, so guys, if you miss it tonight, after the show, you go watch this. The next time you're gonna have a chance to look at this is in 2040. And this is the first time since 1623, the year of my birth, that it's actually as observable as it is. So if you miss it tonight, you have to wait 20 years. Guys, I'm really excited because we have a local hometown hero who has stolen the hearts of millions of fans across the world. He's actually a great guy. He's a lot of fun. Guys, already we have some fans. I can't wait. We already have Ryu Cat standing by. We have Ted Stills. We got Mark St. Marie, Miriam Lopez, who's tuned in, among all the other people who've tuned in. Charles, we got no time to waste over here. I can't wait to bring you on. But before we do that, guys, it's our weekly ritual. Let's get into that ritual. So raise your glass of wine. We can't see you, Charles. Wait for that. Raise your glass of wine. Sit back. Kick up your feet. And let us carry the load. Charles, got the guitar ready. You're about to come on, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, our hometown hero. He was part of a band named LIPSTIK that was managed by Whitney Houston. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our local hero, our local superstar, Mr. Rox Vaccaro.
Hi, everyone. Tired and torn. This is where I stand here all by myself. The seasons they keep changing, and everything I see just stays the same. I've seen a million places, and all these empty faces, they look back at me. Been running around in circles, trying to catch my breath, but I don't know how. And I can't stop running away from here. And I won't stop running away.
What a performance, Charles. Thank you. Thank you so much, buddy. It is our profound honor and pleasure to have you on Rob's Inner Circle.
Thank you. That's the short version because we're pressed for time.
Yes,
And,
sir.
you know, we can go. You guys can go catch that on YouTube and all the digital platforms. It's called "Can't Stop Running."
Hey, Charles, remember that fan I was talking to you about? He tunes in the Daily Struggles. He's a huge fan. And the moment he heard your song on our show, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes, he became an instant fan. Here he is, our friend Ryu Cat
Hi,
from
Ryu Cat.
Japan.
From Japan. Hi, Ryu Cat.
There's Ryu Cat. There's also Miriam Lopez.
I know her.
You know her, right?
Yeah.
You shot the scene with the Hummer at the local dealership over there, and it was pretty cool to have you both on because both of you was the first time you were on Daily Struggles. Miriam is now part of the regular cast, and you came on once and you collaborated twice with your songs. Hey, listen, how was your experience on Daily Struggles as an actor?
Well, I don't do much acting, so it was just fun. We was Sunday morning, and I came in. I didn't know what to expect, and you gave me a bunch of lines, and then you gave me this character, which kind of is a little bit like me. So it wasn't too hard to grasp. But you guys were grinding me like, "Hey, you got to do it like this," and I'm like, "Oh man, what did I get myself into?" But in the end, it was just a blast, and I got to make some friends. So why not?
Hey, listen, bro.
Yeah.
Is it often that you have women to tell you to shut up?
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Because on the show, what happened is Patty like really grinded you there.
Yeah, Patty, she's a trooper. She's got it going on.
Actually, by the way, all of the cast and the crew of Daily Struggles extend you the warmest of welcomes. Our producer Jenny as well.
Hi, Jenny. Yeah.
Jenny, we're all fans of yours, Charles. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Well, it's interesting because I'm before COVID, I wasn't aware of the podcast community like I am today, because streaming is a new thing, right? So I'm a guy that plays live and stuff, and then once I was on lockdown, like everybody else in the month of March, I started to experiment. Also, I built a streaming station in my little studio and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is, there's a culture, there's people, there's, there's a community of people doing this, and they're constantly creating content and discussing topics, world topics, or just fun stuff, And I started to become friends with you guys, and everybody's kind of so nice and friendly, and like, hey man, you want to do this or that? So thank you for including me.
Well, Charles, hey, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so listen, you were 2.5 years old and you ended up in Italy, and by the age 6, you already had a guitar in your hands. So fill the gap over here. Tell us all about what your adventure was like.
Well, by age 6, we discussed this offline. I as early as I can remember, I wanted to be a musician. And unfortunately, I got to become one later. I had, my parents are immigrants, and they kind of really didn't get into that or believe in that. So I got my first guitar at 13, and I've been playing ever since. And I did do some lessons for about a year with a gentleman called Angelo Labate. But after that, I'm self-taught. I'm old school. I learned off the radio, rewinding. Back then we had cassette players, and learning the big Zeppelin riffs and whatever music I could have learned by ear. And many experiences came on after that. As you know.
Okay, so you're in Sicily. You come back, then you're in high school. Before you know it, you're 16 years old, and you meet up with a bunch of friends in St. Leonard, and then you decide, let's start a band. It's a quartet from St. Leonard, and you decided to call yourselves LIPSTIK, because back in the day, that's when you had, Motley Crue, you had Rat, all these bands, the long hair and with the tights, the cowboy boots. Tell us all about that.
Well, yeah, before the LIPSTIK name came out, we had other names. We started in high school. I mean, it only kicked off like a couple years later, but we were pretty much the same guys until 1989. And so we were all from Laurie McDonald High School, except Paul. Paul's older than us. He was my backyard neighbor, and he was our lead singer. And so we were all, our community who lived a little further, but all from St. Leonard. And then at one point, Paul and John our drummer, went to Wildwood one summer, and they, Paul met a girl that was a hairdresser for another hair band in Pennsylvania, and their manager was this gentleman called Wade Perry, who worked for Whitney Houston. So, when Paul came back, we sent him our package, and he replied because in 1989, 88, we didn't have email or internet, so it was really the big yellow envelope with the stuff inside, a stamp, and you pray to God somebody hears you, kind of like throwing a bottle in the ocean and hoping it'll float back, or somebody finds the message, right? So he came and see us 3-4 times, I forget, and he was really into us, and then he introduced us to his boss, who was Whitney Houston, and they had started not a department, but a sector of her company to develop new talent, and we were one of the bands they signed, and that was how we got there. Was just the stars aligned at that moment, and this remarkable story came out of it.
Charlie, I think you got it all wrong. It's not the stars that were aligned. It was Jupiter and Saturn.
There you go.
That's what happened exactly.
That's what happened. Maybe that year. I don't remember.
Okay, so you guys, what you're in high school. By that time, you're 19. All of a sudden, you're going to Pennsylvania and you're staying at Wade's house, and you're traveling. You're doing some gigs in New Jersey. You're doing gigs in New York. You're from an Italian family. I'm an Italian family myself. It's kind of hard because our parents, how they were back in the day.
Yeah.
You go out, they're always asking, they're always worried and all that. So you're gone like for 2-3 weeks to Pennsylvania. How hard was it convincing your Italian parents to let you go there?
I don't think I ever convinced them. We just got up and left. I mean, I did anyways. I'm speaking for myself. There was no convincing, but in their defense, they didn't come from that. They came from Italy. They came here to survive and to start a new life. And, their expectations were, go to school. Even, my parents really didn't understand what going to school meant, but in the end, you'd get a good job. That was the thing. But, I was born an artist. I was born a performer. So, I didn't let them drag me down with their ideologies. But again, our band, we were tame. We were tame guys. We weren't, I don't know if you saw the movie Dirt, Motley Crue. We were nothing like that. We didn't throw TVs out of the hotel room and stuff like that. So, we were responsible children for our parents. Just, we had long hair, and I'd go to a wedding. My dad wouldn't introduce me to people because he was, maybe ashamed or whatever. But it's just there was some comical sense to it, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. But they couldn't tie me down. They couldn't stop me from doing that. And then, of course, once the Whitney Houston factor came in, now everybody started to take it serious. You're not just playing a bar for $50 and you're doing drugs or whatever, but that's what the lifestyle is at some point, sex, drugs, rock and roll. But there was that serious aspect that, hey, and plus we had two videos on Music Plus, and sometimes one of the videos or both videos were playing across Canada. Now we just signed with Whitney Houston. So it wasn't anymore like I have to convince you. It's like, it's done. We're here. There's nothing more I could have done to prove to my parents that this was for real. And for real it was, and we rode the wave.
And at that point, did they become supportive?
I don't think they were ever supportive, but they weren't always trying to stop me from doing that. At one point, you're an adult, right? You know what I mean? I wasn't 12, I was 19, I was 20 years old. Like, let me make my own decisions and I'll deal with it later, And so convincing them, they didn't get it, it's not their fault. They just, We didn't come from artistic parents, actors. Okay, do this, So I don't have that story to tell. But it's not. It's not their fault. It's not like whatever. Life just happened, and we rode our wave. Plus, we grew up a little different than the young ones today. Our parents didn't want to know where we were every 15 minutes. We didn't have phones. Went to the park. We left for 6 hours. Nobody knew where we were, and we were with our friends. Jumping off bars and stuff. Today it's like, where are you? I'm behind you, mom. With the cell phone and texting. Are you on the bus or whatever? So it was a whole different thing. We had to fight to earn our freedom with our families. Because there was that traditional, you have to do this, and by 20 you got to get married, by 22 you got to buy a house, by 24 you better have a kid, and I didn't do any of that.
Well, none of it. And by 26 you have to be a rock star. So not.
Well, that didn't happen either, but here we are. Where it's fun. It's fun because it gives me my personal story, my personal lifeline, my who I am. Okay. I'm not a rock star, but I love doing music. I just released a new song. It's doing great. People are loving it. People are loving, they're communicating with me through social media. They're, Ryu Cat?
Ryu Cat, he's from Japan.
Yeah, Ryu Cat, he's from Japan.
Yeah,
it's not, my friend Joe from across the street. There's Ryu Cat now, and there's, friends from Australia, friends from the United States, friends from Italy, I have a big support system in Italy from a few guys. They're a bit younger and they're rock musicians, and we've become friends the past few years. And I met them through the fact that LIPSTIK has some kind of a fan club in Italy, which that's also crazy, ironic, but beautiful, all at the same time. So life takes you to different places, and here we are. I'm on the Rob's Inner Circle show.
Charles, you're already a star, right? But Rob's Inner Circle is going to make you a superstar.
Oh, touche.
Charles, let's get serious here.
You bleed confidence, Rob. I love it.
Hey, you got to be confident, my friend. Hey, listen.
Yeah,
okay.
I see a bunch of messages popping up. I just want to say hi to everybody. I can't answer because I'm speaking, but I say hello.
Okay, we also have Adrienne Villanueva over here. I'm going to put her on the screen. She's American. Yeah. She's one of our friends. She's a YouTube supporter. She tunes in once in a while, and she's a great supporter. And I'm sure she's going to follow the song. Adrienne, go on YouTube and listen to Charles's song and spread the word. Wow, this is
Thank
awesome.
you.
So Charles, tell us how this came about. That all of a sudden, was it a Wednesday? You were minding your own business. All of a sudden, you heard that messenger ding, and it's and a name you haven't heard like in 1,000 years. So what happened?
Yeah.
Someone from Italy.
It was October 14, I believe, 2000.
You remember the date?
And 14. Yeah, I'll never forget. And I was home, and I'm rarely home in the day. I was doing some paperwork, and my computer, my Facebook was on, and I started getting some hits, invites for friendship. But they were Italian names, but it wasn't Joe or Tony. It was like Settimo and Desiderio, and I'm like, whatever. And because I'm an artist, I don't filter much. My requests unless they're really weird or they don't have a pick, right? Mm-hmm. So I answer, I accept the friendship, and this was all instantaneous, like a matter of seconds. And then Desiderio writes to me and says, "Are you the guitar player of LIPSTIK?" So
nice.
It's 2014, and LIPSTIK broke up in 1993-94. So this is 20 years later, and I'm like, somebody's playing a joke on me, Like who, so I answered, who wants to know, who are you, right? So he says, we found you, So now I'm amused. I'm kind of weird, you know, and I'm like, what did you find? Like, who are you looking for, right? So he spills the beans. So
Okay.
that day, which was a Wednesday, and the reason I know it's a Wednesday now, because every Wednesday, still today, there's a radio station called the Radio Trieste in Trieste, and there's a segment, they just play hair metal.
Wow.
So anything from early 80s to late 80s, all these underground bands, a lot of American stuff, a lot of European bands that we've never heard of. And that's all they live by. So there's this big, as the days progress, because we could be here 6 hours with the story, I start to see that there's a big rock community in Italy, and they know about LIPSTIK, but I don't know how they know about LIPSTIK, right?
Imagine.
Because one, it's 20 years later, and two, these guys are 40, 38, 35.
Nice.
So they were like babies.
Wow.
Right? They were babies when we were trying to make it. So how do they, how did LIPSTIK end up in Italy, right?
Yeah.
So some other guys start texting me now, right? And in here with Desiderio, and then there was Settimo, I've become, still today, they're really good friends. And coincidentally, they're from Palermo, and I'm from Sicily as well, my roots. So it was just weird and beautiful at the same time. And so a few other guys start texting me. And these guys are like, they weren't Italian. One guy was from Australia.
Hey.
And they're like, hey, man, you have any more CDs? And I'm like, no, we ran out in 1992. We ran out of CDs, right? We printed 2,000. There was a 4-song CD. And either they were giveaways or some people, bought them. And so there was only 2,000 printed, and most of them were given out in the States. So we never reprinted. So I'm like, no. And they're like, well, can you find some? And I said, I can't find some unless my cousin, I don't know, somebody. And I find out that this CD today, our CD with 4 songs, trades in the collector's underground market of rock for $800 US.
Oh my God.
CD. But it's got to be the original. It's got to be the original. No nicks, no autographs, no scratches. It's got to be like, and so I was like, wow. So in here, a couple of friends, one of my friend, John, got solicited, and he calls me. He's like, Charlie, I'm like, dude, we'll do what you want. Make a copy, and, and he sold it, and he went to Cuba, and he made more money in one transaction than my whole musical career, So it's kind of, it's funny, but what a compliment at the same time, because, one, again, Italy, like I grew up in Sicily, and we're Italian, and even if you didn't grow up in Italy, there's always that attachment. There's always that it's in our blood. It's in it's our passion, right? So and now my CD, our CD, is worth that kind of money. It was just unbelievable, And we found a few copies. A couple of guys made some money. I introduced them to the right people, and I sold the guy from Australia, Andre, 2 LIPSTIK shirts.
Nice.
At $100 a pop.
Whoa.
But they were mine. They were mine. They weren't like leftovers. They were shirts I wore.
Get out of here.
I don't care about buying it. Yeah, it was crazy stuff, And then a few interviews happened with Dennis Abello, with the melodic rock, and then I got to do a little project with some guys from a Room Experience. So it made me some friends, and it's nice because the internet allows us to do that today. Like it allows us to reach out and talk to people, and find people, and find people. And that's why, on Facebook, I was Charles Vaccaro. Always, When that happened, I added in the VROX, because if people are looking, they'll find it, because they didn't find us easily. They didn't find me easily. So it's nice that we can do this through the internet and discover and make friends, again, like sorry, I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name, but the gentleman
Rayocat.
yeah. So like 30 years from now, if I had somebody that fell upon one of my songs by complete fluke that's in Japan, I would never know. They would have to find my home address, and but today, like we have these opportunities and these tools.
Charles, first of all, Luisa Miniaci says hello.
Hi, Luisa.
And we also got Teresa Picciano, who is
Teresa.
You collaborated with her. Contate. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. Teresa, I collaborated with her, and I am collaborating with her.
Oh, still cool.
So her first movie, 55. I wrote a song with one of my best friends, Mario Bifrali.
Okay.
Which is like this sexy, cool waltz, and it's her soundtrack for 55. And I wrote a second track called Fountain of Youth. And now on her new movie, which I forget the title, I'm sorry. I gave her my Italian song Conte, which is also on YouTube if anybody wants to go listen to it. And I support Teresa. She's part of my inner circle.
Charlie's inner circle.
and just we do that with each other. We have there's Teresa. There's my producer Marco Yamateo who shot my video, who directed also 55 and the new movie. We all help each other. We all have a support system where we support each other in contributing music or whatever time we can give to each other to help the project. Mate and date. See, mate and date. Thank you, Teresa.
Hey, Charles, we have a question from Gennaro, but before we do that, buddy, raise that glass. I want to wish you Shendan.
Let me hold it properly because I have my pick of mind. Salud. I'm very grateful for being on your show.
Thank you, sir.
And I've watched. We got to take a sip. We're in a weird situation right now, and I think we have our friends and that occupy our time with these shows, with content, with new things. And I mean, we can't watch all of them. I mean, we had this discussion offline. There's so many of them going on like at 8 o'clock every night, but it's nice because we're kind of learning the new way, and eventually we'll connect properly on where this is going to take us once everything is settled,
Charlie, okay. Gennaro Yanicello has a question for you.
Hey, Gennaro.
He wants to know if you have any news from 103.7.
No, I don't. Gennaro's been like strategically trying to help me get on radio, and nobody answers back. So, but thank you. I am still attacking them. I am still being persistent. So,
Charlie, listen. Word has it that you're an amazing guitarist, and apparently you're very good at doing encore solos, because I hear voices in here from millions of fans across the world.
Millions.
They're asking for a guitar solo, something that you're going to shred the guitar, that fire is going to come out of your fingers. So is that guitar ready?
I'm not plugged in, no.
Oh, no. What happened? The guitar caught fire before he came on the show.
The guitar cut. Well, look, here I am, right? This is my guitar collection. Oh my God.
8,000 guitars.
But there's not 8,000. There's 10. But they can go and listen to Massive Destruction.
Okay.
So that's a teaser. You've used that on your show, I think.
No, we were contemplating it, but we did use "Can't Stop Running." And
thank you.
That song, "I Can't Stop Running." He didn't get it. Okay, Charles. Hey, you have a couple of pictures to show us?
Yes, I do.
You prepared
Yes,
them?
I
Okay.
do.
While you prepare this, I'm just going to brief the audience a little bit over here. When you're ready, just give me the signal.
Yeah,
Folks,
they're not in any particular order.
it's
So
okay as long as we have some pictures to show. Folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Our special guest tonight is Charles Vaccaro, a local hometown hero whose band LIPSTIK back in the day was managed by Whitney Houston. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and thank you for all the questions. And keep them coming. Charles is he's hot, he's on fire, he's ready to answer them. So I believe we're ready to start showing some pictures over here. Charles, take it away, baby.
they're on. Do you see them?
Yeah, I see them. Go ahead and tell us
Okay.
about it.
So this is our cover, the album cover of that famous CD I was telling you about. That's trading, if you find one, at the $800 US.
I just found one right here. Hey,
Yeah.
keep it for me. I want to make $800 US with this one.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, this is a photocopy, but this is like a second version of LIPSTIK, the members.
Okay.
And this is me back in the day. This is remember Shooter's Pub
Yeah.
on Jerry and VO.
Hey, bro, what happened to you? You took a wicked fall. Look at that. You ripped your jeans, man, when you fell. What happened to you?
Yeah, but my knees are intact. It was miraculous. So here, live in action with the gear and
Nice.
and here's actually a show. Louisa will be proud right now. This is at the Rialto, and
Nice.
I'm performing for Louisa's PKD Foundation,
Nice.
and that's me last year at Settimana Italiana Christmas concert.
Okay.
This is a Whitney Houston tour pass,
There she is.
backstage tour pass.
I love that woman. She was
Yeah.
a wholesome person and also a fabulous performer.
Yeah, well, when we met her, she was the thing. She was it. She was.
She was the in thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is us live.
Oh, yeah.
This is Paul somewhere in there, and myself at the brick on St. Lawrence and St. Catherine.
Okay. Nice.
And yeah. And I was telling you off air, this picture was taken by Ralph Butino.
Oh, Ralph. Good old Ralph. Hi, Ralph.
If he's listening, good old Ralph, he's there. This was at Parc La Dauversière.
Okay.
This was Gennaro Stabile production. These are the
Okay.
big rock concerts. There was 5,000 people there that night.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah, at Parc La Dauversière in
Great.
St. Leonard. And this was at La Mac, L'Intro. We were shooting a video.
Hey, look at that, Charles. Can you do that same move right now?
I could, but I'll tear my pants. This is the original LIPSTIK. These are the guys I was talking about. So
Okay.
Paul,
Okay.
Elio, Johnny, myself.
Okay.
Us three were in high school together, and Paul is older than us.
Okay.
And we gelled. This is also the original band.
Okay. Nice. Four of
And
you. Okay, you were originally four. Then you were five.
No, we were always four, and then we used to have Peter, who's my producer still today,
Okay.
who used to play keyboards when we had bigger shows. Yeah,
Okay.
these pictures are a little blurry because of the scanning, and
Okay.
But where am I here?
Charles, maybe one or two
Yeah.
more pictures because we have questions for you here.
Yeah. Here, look, big hair.
Oh, there
This
you
is
go.
recently. This is Friends for a Cause
Okay.
last year.
Nice.
And this is the original LIPSTIK. Sonia Benezra,
Oh, that's Sonia. There you go. Good old
a
Sonia.
great friend and a spokesperson for the band.
Nice.
A picture in Asbury Park, New Jersey,
Oh,
home
cool.
of Bruce Springsteen.
Nice.
And last year at Strangers in the Night on the West Island.
Okay.
And the beautiful Whitney Houston.
There you
That's
go.
That's it. I'm coming back.
He's
Shmamila.
back. He's back. So, okay, we got a question here for you from Gennaro once again, Yanicello. Are you going to be doing a duet anytime soon?
A duet? Does he want to do one with me, Gennaro? I don't know. Send me a suggestion. Why not? I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to send you a suggestion.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm going to do a duet with me.
Yeah, and I'm only joking with Gennaro because I know him really well, so I know he can take it. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Send a suggestion. There's plenty of stuff. The thing these days with duets is it's kind of hard because I haven't seen my musician friends in so long. You know, like Can't Stop Running was recorded. I never went to studio. I recorded my tracks here and I sent them to Peter via WeTransfer, and he put it all together and he put his music, you know, the drums and the stuff, and he just made magic. He made magic, but I haven't seen him since February.
Hey, you're making a lot of fans tonight, and I'm sure you had him already. Angelo from the Ange TV show, he says you're a legend, Charles.
Ange, you're good.
Hey, are you gonna go on Ange's show anytime soon?
I think it's in the works. We flirted with that idea a couple of days ago, and we said we're gonna speak after the holidays. But we could call each other whenever. That's not a problem. But I think, you know, Christmas is around the corner, and we'll just take it from there. Yeah, you know, it's what I said before. I didn't know any of you guys till like a few months ago, like personally. Like you, we were friends on Facebook, and I think I was friends with Claudio on Facebook. Ange is a new addition to my friend network, but it's amazing because I also hooked up at some point with the Jofo boys, and Frank has been a great support for me and my other projects, stuff we were doing with Ari, and who else is there? There's Luigi Costanza. He's just a friend forever. Like, I'm a bit older than him, but I've known him since we were kids, you know. So we're like family. So you guys just, you know, you keep on making it happen, you know.
Okay, so Therese has a comment over here. She says, "Wait, are we doing a song together for a movie?"
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, look, we got Raul from California, and he says, "Let me join Charles' friend network too." So how does he go about that?
Okay, well, Facebook, it's Charles V.Rox Vaccaro. So that's Facebook. And then all my other handles are at VROX777. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If Jenny can go grab somewhere my link tree on my bio on Instagram, maybe she can post it up here. And then there's everything there. There's a Spotify, there's Apple, there's YouTube, there's, you know, So adding to that, okay, the past few years I've become, you know, in how can I say, knowledgeable on all this new, you know, digital communication. Call it that, you know, because like I said, back in the day was the envelope, lick a stamp, lick the envelope, you know, pray to God somebody calls you back. The system hasn't changed though. The results haven't changed, you know. People are like, yeah, I have Rob's email address now, and I could send him an email now. Doesn't mean he's gonna answer you.
But Rob always answers.
But I'm making a point, right? Yeah. Just because you got there faster, that doesn't mean that, you know, people answered, you know. So, you know, I've been soliciting everybody, like, hey, here's my song, and it's hit and miss, and you still gotta keep going. And then there's other things, you know, here's our project, here's my idea, you know, what are we going to do? And so you got to keep doing it. But, you know, it's nice, again, that we have Facebook. You know, Facebook, I think, introduced us back to our high school friends, our childhood friends that maybe, you know, we would have never known about if it wasn't for Facebook, you know.
Gennaro's got a last question.
Oh, last.
Yeah, he knows.
I don't believe you, Gennaro.
I don't know the guy, but somehow I don't believe him either. But he looks like a great guy anyway.
Gennaro's awesome. Gennaro is my biggest fan, I think.
Right.
In
So
everything. Yeah.
I don't know if you see the question, but he asks, "What's your favorite joke?"
My favorite joke. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. I've never been asked that, but I have a joke that I came up with when I was young, and I still say it, and nobody likes it. So, is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I walked into a bar the other night, and boy, did my nose hurt.
Hang on a sec, bro.
Bang, right? I walked into a bar.
Oh my God, Charles.
You see, nobody likes it. How did I do, Gennaro?
Wow. Hey guys,
Hey, Jenny put up my link tree.
there you go. Jenny put up the link.
Yeah, so that's my joke. I don't remember some jokes, and the ones I do are not made for the inner circle.
I had a couple of thunderous jokes. I could have used them right now. And you know what's going to happen when we go off the air, when everybody's going to be watching Saturn and Jupiter lined up. That's when the joke's going to come back to me. Oh, boy. So, Charles, listen. Okay, I want to talk about equipment a little bit. Back in the day, we had these Marshall amplifiers that they had the tubes. And now they're making them with transistors. What do you like better, the transistor or the sound from the tube?
Well, I was a tube guy.
Okay.
And I still am a tube guy. And they still make the tubes. Okay, but I don't buy that equipment anymore. Thanks, Gennaro. I tried. You asked, I tried.
You know
caught me
what?
off guard.
Hey, Gennaro and I are starting to connect over here.
So what happens is the tubes for sure. When you're playing rock, you got that nice warm distortion and whatever. But as I got older, and the equipment now, the technology is just phenomenal. I have a pedal with a tube in it. Two pedals.
No
Yeah.
way.
So the equipment, before, when you saw that picture, there was all that stuff to lug around and we were young. So it was like my Marshalls were like my Trans Am, right? Like it was, look at my gear, but you needed 3 people to bring it out, and to bring it in. And today, like when I have a gig, not that I do many gigs, my gear is limited, and I went more for the tone and the technology is better, and I can replicate those sounds without buying all that expensive. Never mind expensive, but all that big gear. So like this, right? This is my setup on the floor there.
Okay.
That's as powerful as both Marshall amps together. So
Hey, Charles, I want you absolutely to tell the story. You're doing a gig, and all of a sudden, the police show up.
Oh,
and everybody just went, wow! Everybody just scattered all over the place.
So we got booked 14 weeks
By the cops or what?
in a row. No, not the cops. 14 weeks in a row at a place called l'arbitre, which means the referee in English. And it's where whoever's listening is gonna know. That's from here. It's Loretto now, the funeral home. So back in the day, that building was a brasserie. Yeah, that's a Gennaro joke, right? And so back then it was a brasserie, and there was like 4 or 5 different entrances to the place, or exits, depends where you are, right? And back then my part-time job was I was working at a bakery, so I'd work the graveyard shift, and there was these 2 policemen that would come every couple of days and hang out with us 2-3 in the morning. They came in, and they would circulate the neighborhood and keep us safe, right? So So one day I'm like, hey, why don't you guys, when you're not busy, why don't you pass by one night? I'm playing at 2 blocks away. So one night they walk in, and everybody there, like 60% of our audience, was way under 18 years old.
Oh my God.
Right? So the police come in, the place is empty now. There's just like us 5, 6, whoever was 18 and over. And so one of my friends, and I didn't move, I stayed on my chair because I knew who they were, right? And so my friend comes up, he leans down, he says, bro, he goes, the cops are asking me about you, And I'm like, well, you tell them that if they want to talk to me, they got to come here.
Oh my God.
So he's like, you're crazy, right? You're freaking losing it. So as soon as they come, like, hey, Bob, Serge, and we're hugging.
Oh,
but now
wow.
we had no more audience.
Hey, so when the police came to you, did they have a message in a bottle?
Tadoom. Yeah,
Gennaro, come on, you're supposed to appreciate such a joke. I want to see a comment, Gennaro.
Where is he, Gennaro?
Where is Gennaro? We're gonna need him.
But he did write, he still loves me, so that's good. I didn't lose points.
Anyway, we got someone who's, I believe, from France. Boulette Lulu. Wow, okay.
Boulette Lulu. Is there bass? Is there a bass? No, there's no bass on the wall.
No.
I
You
don't
play
know the
some bass, right?
I don't play bass. I play bass like a guitar player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I thought you play first base, second base, or third base, or home plate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm married. Don't play basses.
You're based at home.
There you go.
So Charles, okay. You right now you're collaborating. You're doing music for movies as well. You work with Daily Struggles, and we want to have you back again to collaborate, both as an actor and also as a musician. Besides Teresa and myself, which other people or productions have you worked with in terms of music?
Okay, so here's a crazy story, right? Another crazy story which happened recently. So this gentleman on Facebook pops up out of nowhere because we have common friends that I don't know yet, right? And he posts something from Steve Lukather, who's the guitar player of Toto, right? Is it Toto? Yeah. And the guitar player on most of the Thriller album.
Okay.
Right. So he posted something spiritual about music and how the industry is, and so I reposted and I become friends with this guy. Right. And hey man, Bob ends there. 2 days later, one of my friends who's now representing my catalog. So I have a friend, Tina Colalilo from Toronto. She's partners with 2 other ladies in the States, right? So you're catching on to all the scenario here, right? So one of the ladies, 2 days after I become friends with this guy, wishes his daughter happy birthday, right? So I write to him. I said, Jody, how do you know Rhonda? He says, well, she's my manager.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, well, she's kind of going to be like managing my catalog with Tina. He goes, hey, I know Tina, right? So 2 days later or 3 days later, he says, man, I can't finish this ballad. So I said, I'm going to finish it with you. He couldn't write the lyrics. So sends me the song. I write the lyrics, a couple of days. I send them to him, and he ends up tracking them with his girl singer. So yeah, I'm collaborating with this guy now. I'm collaborating with the movies. I also gave one of my songs to Night Shift with the Joe Rossi and Anthony Calabrese this year. So that's another movie that one of my short instrumentals is on. And I'm just having fun. I'm really having fun because I'm of age, and there's not going to be a world tour or whatever. But I'd like to play live again with my own stuff, and I have decided. I didn't expect to have the feedback I got with Can't Stop Running that I got from here locally from my Facebook network, my friends, people reposting, people loving it, people like wow, and it's a great compliment because it just shows that I got it right somehow or somewhat. So I decided to do a follow-up and maybe an EP by next summer. But hopefully we can get back to playing live because that's where I'm most comfortable. I'm a musician to play live. I could play by myself with my acoustic. I could play with someone else. The past couple of years, I was doing many shows with Ari Anicello, and we had a blast. And it was, like a young lady, old school attitude, and we had fun, And we did a few shows again for Louisa, for Fable, Di Genoa, for the Monster Show, for Multiple Sclerosis. Just Strangers in the Night, just fun stuff, And so collaborating is finding the right people to do it with, and then once you do it properly, it's fun. And it doesn't have to go viral or crazy like everybody's expectations sometimes,
Hey, Charles, you want to hear a Charles joke? You were talking about feedback, right? You got feedback. Well, that's because you stood too close to your amplifier with your guitar.
There you go. That's as good as my joke.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Yeah, for sure. I got a question for you. Our friend Raul from California.
Yes.
This is what he asks. My question for you is, what is your advice for starting musicians to promote their music during this unprecedented time?
My advice to young artists. Well, one, promoting the music, that's a whole animal on its own, like the promoting of it, because there's so many things that are going on right now. Who's got the right package to promote your Spotify and your Apple? Then what are your expectations? Because the payouts are not good, right? Spotify is like 0.004 of a penny per stream. So whatever money you invest on promoting it, you're not getting it back. So what are you looking to have numbers and say, hey, look, I got 30,000 streams? Or are you looking to build a fan base? Now, building a fan base is what we're doing tonight, right? You introduced me to Raul. Again, sorry, I gotta start remembering that name. Rayukat. Becoming, answering back, going on your Instagram, and thanks for your support. That's where you build your fan base. Where your music goes, that's a whole different conversation, right? Because again, I've said this, you can prepare everything perfect, whether it's your podcast, your album, your next script. You could do everything perfect. You could align all the right people and do it perfect. Once you launch it, it's at the mercy of people becoming your audience, right? So
exactly.
if you don't have an audience and you thought you had a hit song, well, maybe it didn't work out that way, right? So now you're like, why aren't people reacting? Well, there's something maybe you got to tweak, or people, it's like that book, he's not that into you, So it's a lot of work. All the fundamentals of that haven't changed. It just now, how much time do you want to invest on working it, right? Do you do 2 podcasts a week? Do you do 1 podcast a week? Am I gonna release another song in a month or in 2 months? And then if I do it in 2 years, I lost people's attention. So it's really that. But today everybody's working on numbers. I have 10 likes, I have 30 streams, I have. It's not about that. It's really like when people are reacting to you, that they're gonna be there for the next one, and hopefully the next one after that, and they engage in what you have to say or what you have to tell them or what you have to to share with them.
Gennaro is asking, what do you think of Lucy Thomas?
I think she's great. Lucy's great. There's a lot of young talent today. And that's the other thing. I'm glad he brought that up, because Lucy is like a YouTube sensation, Lucy Thomas. And there's so much talent. And there was always, so yes, Miriam, always worth it. Miriam said it's a rough business and it's worth it, or something like that. It's not on the screen anymore.
Yeah, put it up here again.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard business, but worth it. Yes, that's what we do. We're actors. We're singers. We're composers. We create content. But back to Gennaro with Lucy Thomas. There's so much talent today, right? Back in the day, when you said you're blaring guitar solos and stuff, we practice. So if there was some 4-year-old kid in China playing piano, standing on his head, boy, girl, whatever, or these virtuosos, we didn't know about them. They were extraterrestrial, and they would come to North America, they'd be a sensation, right? But today, there's little 4-year-old girls playing Eruption from Van Halen better than I've ever played it. And I don't play it great to begin with, but they just nail it. And then there's 10 million beautiful girls. And there's
We're breaking up here. We're having a hard time with the connection here.
Lucy Thomas.
Okay. Hopefully the connection is going to come back.
Yeah, we're having a connection problem. But what sets you there?
It's Jupiter and we're aligned up. We're covering this. Okay, guys. Our guest tonight is Charles Vaccaro, a local hometown hero. He's a musician. He's a songwriter. And he's also an actor. He was on Daily Struggles for an episode as an actor, and he learned this song. Charles, are you back? Are you back, buddy?
You're cutting off.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what the connection is. Okay, you're back. Go ahead, Charles. Take it away.
Okay, so what Lucy Thomas has developed a gigantic following, like millions of views, I think. What divides or defines somebody that achieves that? For sure, it's talent, but anybody can do that. But again, it's how did you go grab your audience, and how do you keep your audience, and what do you want to do to keep working? Because today, working is not playing a gig at a bar. Working is like, hey, I'm on at 8, come, and then. What do you do after that? What's how you're gonna develop your brand so it's gonna you can monetize on something, right? Because clearly nobody's buying music, right? Exactly. We're listening. Yeah, we buy that $13 package, which I had this conversation with a friend of mine. He says, "Oh, I buy Spotify. I pay $14 a month." I said, "Yeah, but before you bought my album for $15, and you had to buy Ozzy's album, you had to buy Madonna's album." Now you get all of these without listening to the bad tracks or the tracks you don't like for that per month. And you could endless amount of music, right? So what do? Like, you take, for example, she's my favorite example, Ariana Grande, right? Okay. I bought her CD last year for $8, brand new, right off the shelf, $8. So she kind of gave me her CD, because before that CD was worth $25 back in the day when you were buying a CD, when they were at their peak, right? But now her ticket's $250, meet and greet is $1,500. All the kids are buying her perfume. She has her fifth or fourth or fifth line of perfume, merchandise, and that's where it's at. But for somebody that's aspiring or starting, you got to build something, and you're not going to become Ariana Grande, but you got to survive somewhere. So now we have no more live, where you could have got not $1 million, but the summer festival. You make $1,800. You pay your band members. You have a bit left over for you. You sell 10, 15 shirts. You leave. We didn't. This summer we were robbed of that. We were, So how you reinvent yourself through social media when all this traffic is just there, and you're, oh my God, they're gonna love my new song. Yeah, but if you gotta work it, you gotta work it. So
It's Charles. I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. This is the most dreaded moment of my life over here. Time is up, my friend.
oh,
Well, you know what? You have enough time to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, I guess.
do we do a to be continued?
And you know what? Yeah, with the feedback, with the guitar nerd, yeah, with the feedback we got over here, I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
We could probably talk this over with Jenny, but
I am
love that.
flattered. I am flattered. I'm happy that you and Jenny took me on, and everybody that came on tonight. A lot of you were personal friends, and thank you for the support. And it's nice to be part of this. It's fun. I love this, you know. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Please stay safe. You know, there's a few things going on right now that I won't get into because, you know, there's friends that are, you know, in the circle of the COVID thing, and they're trying to get past it. But let's stay safe. Let's you know, follow the rules as much as we can, because next year we got to get back and see each other. And peace and thank you. Please keep listening, keep watching. Can't Stop Running, all digital platforms. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If anybody ever wants to say hello, I answer back. And it'll be a pleasure.
Charles, thank you very much for tuning in. Please stay behind the scenes. We're going to come and get you as the show closes. I'm going to be closing the show right now. So, Charles, once again, thank you, and we'll be with you in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was our guest tonight, Mr. Charles Vaccaro, a local hero from Laval who was in the band called LIPSTIK, managed by Whitney Houston back in the day. Guys, okay, we're going to have a special holiday blitz coming up. Usually our show is on Monday nights, and next Monday it's going to be on with Connie Rotella, the owner of Dance 123 Studio. And we're going to have 3 other shows, 3 specials on this upcoming Sunday, December 27th. We're going to have the entire cast and crew of Daily Struggles. And you guys can come on and mingle with us and get to know the cast a little bit more, a little bit up and close and personal. Then on the Tuesday, December 29th, we're going to have Byron A. Martin, a very famous Canadian television and film producer. And followed the next day on the Wednesday, December 30th, we're going to have Alexis Ionov, a director from Hollywood. So, guys, we have a lot of fun stuff coming your way. We encourage you to stay tuned. So, guys, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you who tuned in tonight. It was a lot of fun. And as I sign off, I wish you, each and every one, a Merry Christmas, a Feliz Navidad, Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. Guys, we'll see you next time, which will be December 27th on Sunday, 8 o'clock. Thank you, guys. Have a great week. Ciao.